We're talking about today about leading from intention versus expectation. How to listen to the room and hold space for it.
That sounds like a facilitator question. Oh my goodness. That's why I wear my Sex Geek Summer Camp t-shirt, because we're talking about business. This is Cathy Vartuli from the Intimacy Dojo.
This is Reid from readaboutsex.com and sexgeeksummercamp.com.
And I am not over-caffeinated.
Oh, not at all. So one of the things I love about watching Reid lead rooms, especially, it really inspires me, and something that I'm trying to foster more myself, is the sense that when he walks in the room, the space is held, and he's going in a specific direction. Okay.
I just want to make fun of myself, but it's not adding anything to the video, so I'm going to stop.
Oh, really? You'd be silent if you didn't pick on yourself sometimes. So there's a sense people can feel safe because he's in charge, he's going where things are going, and he has a direction. And I've been trying to incorporate that because I tend to be a collaborator and I tend to be softer and want to draw people in. Mm-hmm. But when someone's learning something new and scary, that's not always the best way to do it. If they're new and scared, they want someone to say, I've got the space, I'm going to lead you. Mm-hmm. How do you balance that, I've got this, I'm leading, and listening to the room and hearing what they need to kind of collaborate and flow things together?
Well, I mean, if I'm understanding your question, there's a couple of different answers based on, one, what kind of event or situation are you leading? If I'm the bus driver and I know we're going to Chicago, I know the route we're taking, and as long as I deliver you to Chicago, we're fine.
But you're listening to when you need to stop for food and...
Yeah. And there's another way that, and for other kinds of events, we're going on a journey and we don't know where we'll end up. And so you can be in charge, but like what's showing up in the room is how you're leading. Like you're not trying to get to Chicago. We're just going to go on a drive.
And part of that depends on the people. How do you decide when you're driving to Chicago and when you're just going for a Sunday drive?
Well, it depends on what's the intent. The way that I do it is what's the intention of the event, and what kind of design. And there's lots of other different kinds of designs for containers or for events, which will influence how you're showing up to facilitate. But the way that I do it is, what am I trying to accomplish? And then the next question is, what's the best way to accomplish that for my audience? And then the third question is, what is, the top 3 best ways to accomplish that? Which one makes me happiest? I don't recommend you design workshops that you hate running. If there's a particular design that delivers the content the best and you hate that design, call me and I'll coach you through that, because it's tricky, because you're like, well, if I do it this way, it actually helps people more, but I hate it, versus if I do it this way, I love doing it, but it's 50-50 whether it helps people. Now you're in this really interesting dilemma about, well, what am I actually trying to do? Am I running this event for me? Yeah. Or am I actually trying to help people? So again, ideally you find a way that helps people, makes you happy, and then you're always coming back to intention. And when you lose the intention, even if the intention is that we don't know where we're going, if you don't have an intention, then usually what happens is people fall into facilitating from expectation, and that we must take this route. And that's bad facilitation, because then you get upset that the room's not behaving the way that you want it to. And hello, like, they're human beings, and you can't calibrate for every response that's going to happen or who's in the room always. I know we need to end up in Chicago, so if the major highway to Chicago is, under repair, well, then we just take it. There's another way to get to Chicago.
Versus if you were expecting to go that one way and you don't have any of that.
And then you get all angry that highway, it must be that highway. Then what your audience is seeing is they're like, you're losing your shit. and then they feel like they don't feel safe. We could have a whole video just on like safe space and what are we ever truly really safe? But I hope you know what I mean. So again, like leading from intention, what are you trying to accomplish rather than expectation? Intention allows for a number of different ways to show up or different ways to achieve and fulfill on the intention. Mm-hmm. For those people who, if you've ever studied Landmark, or there's a lot of other organizations that work with intention setting. Intention settings, the way that Landmark talks about it is it doesn't make other outcomes wrong, whereas expectations create a lot of upset because it's not going the way you thought it was going to go. Yes. And if you're going to lead events and work with human beings or children who are also human beings, teenagers, we don't know if they're human beings, please start to get better at working from intention. You'll be happier, and your attendees and fans and followers and clients will be happier and feel better.
Well, sometimes the detours are the most powerful things. I know when I was first leading group calls, I was really nervous, and I had a lot of expectations of how I wanted it to go. And if someone would kind of have they would go off on this tangent, I'm like, oh, dear Lord. And I could certainly bring it back to the main topic. But I realized that often if I went deep with that person, I was actually serving really well, even though it didn't match what I had this picture of.
The irony is, if you're working in the intimacy and sex and relationships field, and you're helping people get better with their relationships, expectations are what's making a lot of people upset and decreasing the appreciation, connection, intimacy, and joy in their relationships. So again, like in a meta way, you as a facilitator and as a teacher getting better at catching and noticing for yourself when you're in expectation mode rather than intention. And when you're coming from intention, then surprises are gifts. When you lead from expectation, surprises are a pain in the ass. And you know what? Even when you're leading from intention, surprises can still be pains in the ass that are also gifts. Welcome to being human, folks.
We hope this helped. Please leave comments below, and we'd love to know what your questions are around this and any suggestions or thoughts you have.
Bye.
I hope this business geekery was useful for you. If you'd like to continue with the brain sex, click on subscribe up here. If you want to follow me on social media, right here, ladies and gentlemen, next video below. And if you'd like your very own Sex Geek Summer Camp t-shirt, then just click right here, right now. Boop. Go ahead.